back, friends. This is Yvonne Davis, your traveling warrior astrologer and author of The Power of Manifestation, Creating a Life You Love, and In the Magic Flow, a journey of personal transformation. Welcome to today's video on the Libra New Moon, which happens on October 6th, 2021. So, as always, new moons relate to creating something new, planting seeds, taking action, and this one is in Libra, so that means it will have something to do with relationships and probably also whatever house it's landing in for you. So, of course, we've still got Mercury retrograde at the time of this new moon, so that's going to impact the flavor and energy of this new moon and its meaning. Mercury retrograde means going inside or going back to the past. So this is sort of the opposite of the energy of the new moon, which is all about moving forward instead of backward. But it's creating an opportunity to change something that isn't working in your life. And most likely that will be regarding relationships and, again, whatever house this new moon and Mercury retrograde are happening in for you. So if you have your chart, you can look at it and you can see what house Libra rules for you, and then that will tell you what other areas this new moon and Mercury retrograde are impacting for you. This also includes Mars in Libra. So we've got a stellium, we've got a ton of energy in Libra. So that area of your life is getting hyperactivated, and no matter what area of your life it's relating to, it's definitely going to have something to do with relationships. That can mean relationships with other people, how you interact in those relationships, different kinds of relationships. It also means how you relate to yourself, okay? Because fundamentally, every single relationship in our life is born out of how we relate to ourselves. Okay, so you need to be looking at that with this Mercury retrograde, which takes us inward and backward and deep into an excavation of those issues and areas in our lives. It can also mean how you relate to the world around you. Okay, so relationship, we most often think, oh, relationship, that's, my significant other, or sometimes we'll think, oh, that's my friends and family and stuff like that. But relationship is literally everything in your reality. Relationship is fundamental to the reality that we exist in. Okay, so I'm talking about the broadest definition of relationship. That means this relates to that, okay? Everything, absolutely everything. And Mercury is all about how we create our reality, because the Mercury energy rules the mind, the thought patterns, the concepts, the thought structures, and how we think about our reality, how we perceive our reality, how we interpret everything that we're experiencing in our reality. And then it's filtered through the belief systems, the core beliefs of your mind. And so that goes way back to your family of origin and the people who are most important in forming who you were as a child. You need to go back to those fundamental patterns and see what's working and what's not working, okay? So that's the meaning of this Mercury retrograde, how you create your reality in relationship to everything and everyone, including yourself, okay? This is super, super deep stuff, fundamental. And then on top of it, at the time of this new moon in Libra, we also have Pluto stationing direct, like 7 hours after the new moon is exact. So these two events are intimately tied together, okay? And Pluto is all about wealth and power. Fundamentally, it's really about power. Pluto is the god of the underworld. And the thing to understand in astrology is that it's a science that is thousands of years old. So the way that the language of astrology was formed out of concepts of archetypal consciousness, okay? So when we think about the energy of Pluto, yes, it's a planet out there. You know, it's this rock in the sky floating around an elliptic pattern around the sun. Yes, fundamentally in physics and astrophysics, that's what it is. But the fact is everything is radiating an energy. And the energy that Pluto radiates onto planet Earth impacts the electrical circuits in your brain, okay? And you are fundamentally an energetic being. You have an energetic body. And so it manifests in this physical reality, but fundamentally it's energetic. So that energy is impacting you in a way that is taking you deep into concepts of power, okay? And then that takes us back to our relationships, because of the fact that, you know, this new moon is happening in Libra, which is all about relationships. Mercury is in Libra, Mars is in Libra, so we got that stellium going. But then on top of it, the ruler of Libra, which is Venus, is in Scorpio. And Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Okay, so it's all about power dynamics in relationships. That includes your relationship to yourself. Your relationship to yourself is how you manifest your external reality. You may think somebody is doing something to you, or the world is doing something to you. Maybe your boss is doing something to you, or, you know, you think it's politics that's doing something to you. And if you really truly want to empower yourself, you've got to shift out of an external locus of control where somebody else is doing something to you, and understand that you are fundamentally the one in power in your life. You absolutely have the power to change anything you want to change. But you have to change it internally first, and then it manifests externally. Sometimes if you just change something external, it will shift the energy enough to begin to change something internally. But everything that you manifest in your reality comes fundamentally from your internal reality, okay? That's what these Pluto issues are all about. It's about internal locus of control and power. Are you giving your power away in relationship? Even to your subconscious? You know, there may be something in your subconscious that says, hey, maybe somebody told you when you were 6 years old, we don't want you around here. Get out of here. You're stupid. You're ugly. You're pathetic. You're lazy. We all have a woundedness like that goes back to our childhood. And 50 years later, 70 years later, 80 years later, I mean, I know people who are almost 90 years old still living out of something that happened when they were in the one digits, okay? Do you want to be 90 years old and still reliving some pattern from when you were 8 or 9 years old? I certainly hope not. Take back the power. That's what this is all about. Start fundamentally with your relationship with yourself. Do you give your power away? If you do, it's time to take it back, so you can have a better reality. You can manifest a better reality, because you know that you have that internal locus of control and power. You have the power to change your life, but you have to change the way that you think about it, the core limiting beliefs that you may have that filter your reality and how you interpret everything that's happening to you, you have to change those. And this is your opportunity to do that. So just to lay it out and summarize, we've got that new moon in Libra, which brings something new. We've got Mercury retrograde, which takes us deep, deep, deep into our inner self and into our past to rethink the way that we create our reality and the patterns of our relationships. We've got Pluto direct, which is excavating the depths of our psyche and how we give our power away and how we can take it back. And we've got Venus in Pluto ruled Scorpio, who rules Libra, where all of this energy is activated. And she's in the last degrees of Scorpio. Whenever a planet gets to the final degrees of a sign, it's like whatever lessons it was trying to bring up for you, it's coming to the end. Okay, we are literally reaching a crisis point. And that means that at this time, you know, with this new moon, with Mercury retrograde, with Pluto stationing direct, and Venus in the final degrees of Scorpio, you are either reaching the absolute nadir, you're reaching your rock bottom where this is concerned, or you're already working your way up. Okay, you may already be at the peak right now. It just depends on where you're at in the stages of this deep consciousness evolution. But the good news is that hitting rock bottom, hitting the nadir, there's only one place to go from there, and that's up. So that's the good news. Okay, it's not going to get any worse. If you are hitting rock bottom in some kind of relationship or some kind of pattern, I just want to say for a moment that I hear you, you know, I feel you. It can be excruciatingly painful. But there is life on the other side. And when you get there, when you get to that peak, if you're at rock bottom now, there's only one direction to go in. And when you get to that peak, you will be so glad that you made that journey. And you may not feel it right now if you're in that nadir, but I know because I've been there, and it will get better. So please welcome this incredible opportunity for growth and consciousness evolution. You won't regret it. And I'd love to hear what's happening for you. And I'm on the road right now, have not settled into my winter place yet, so only have a limited amount of time for reading through the comments, but you know what? You're all there to support each other in a community, so please do so. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close, so that's it for today, and I will continue to bring you more updates because we got some really exciting energy coming. All right, that's it for today, and I will talk to you again soon.